So I've started setting a timer for 10 minutes, just to prove to you that it is exactly 10 minutes. I could overrun, I could always overrun, but we're gonna do 10 minutes. Before we even get started today though, I want you to sit comfortably. So you can do this sitting at your desk, you can do this sitting on the sofa, wherever you are. And what I want you to do is just drop your attention into that space between your shoulder blades. So if you think about the shoulder blades on the back of the body here, it's hard for me to demonstrate, like your two shoulder blades here, and all the muscles, I think there's something like 17 different muscles in and around the shoulder blade area. So we want to bring a little bit of attention, a little bit of blood flow to them. So what I want you to do is, closing your eyes if it's comfortable, or just soften your focus, take a nice big deep breath in. Feel that band wrapping around the shoulder blades, and then as you exhale, soften a little. Feel everything slide ever so slightly down the back. 2 more breaths like that, breathing in and out. And then on this third breath, I want you to start to circle the shoulders, but rather than leading with the head of the shoulders here, I want you to lead it with the scapula, so with the shoulder blades. So they are movements that you have to really concentrate on, but little tiny circles, leading with your shoulder blades. Relax the arms a little. Maybe as you start to get the hang of the movement, they can get a little bit bigger. And then maybe you start to think about taking them around in the opposite direction. Always takes more concentration. Just gently working. So you're bringing some movement, you're freeing up that space between the shoulder blades, bringing in a little bit of extra blood. Perfect. Now as you breathe in, I want you to roll the shoulders all the way back, have a little shimmy backwards. Exhale, take a little shimmy forward. So that is one stretch that you can do at your desk as soon as you start to feel that tightness. The next one, taking the arms out. Now they can go anywhere, we're going to move them around, but taking them out, I want you to start to rotate them in and out, but rather than leading with the wrist and the forearm, you want to really think about leading with the shoulder, so that head of the shoulder now. So rotating all the way in and out from here. So again, if you're sitting at a desk or you drive or you just sit, maybe even you're holding your kids a lot, the shoulders pick up a lot of tension. And so this little rotation movement just helps to free everything up, and then you can move the arms around. Take them out wide to the side. Start to take them up a little bit higher. You could add this into your yoga practice if you're thinking about warrior two, that little bit of rotation. Maybe even as you bring them up here, it starts to get a little bit more complicated, but perfect. 2 tiny little movements that have taken 2 minutes. That'll just bring a little bit of freedom, a little bit of movement into the shoulders. Okay. Let's get into a little bit more flow now. So coming into child's pose. Now, normally I'd always cue you to take your knees nice and wide, but today I want you to think about keeping them a little bit narrower. Really rounding yourself forward, dropping the head down, either all the way down to the mat, or you can stack the hands underneath, or you can just let it dangle there. But I want you to think about really rounding into the back of the body. Take a nice big deep breath in. Let the shoulders spread apart. So the hands are down by the sides of the feet. Breathing in, breathing out, because you're so compressed, that breath doesn't come into the belly so much, it feels like it's pushing right up into that space between the shoulder blades. Inhale, exhale. And then if it feels a bit more comfortable, you can take the knees a little bit wider now. Take the arms out in front of you, keeping the elbows on the mat. Then I want you to bring the hands up towards the back of the head. Elbows are kind of wrapping around tight to the sides of the head. And again, you're bringing that extra little bit of stretch just underneath the shoulder blade. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Letting the hands come all the way back down. Allow yourself to float back up to cat-cow. Now, the thing with these 10-minute stretches is we're always whizzing through the movements. We move through it quite quickly. So if you find something that feels good, pause the video or come back to it later, kind of mentally bookmark it. Okay, in this cat-cow movement, now we always think about the movement from the tailbone and in the lower spine, but I want you to really pay attention to what's happening in the shoulders today. So as you breathe in, roll the shoulder blades back, lift the gaze. Exhale, really press them apart and drop the head down. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Round, one more. Rounding through. Now either staying with that movement if it feels really good, or walking those hands a little bit further forward, we're going to elongate the movement. So as you breathe in, you're kind of wiggling forward almost into a half plank. And then as you exhale, you're going to push back and round all the way back. Inhale, dip it forwards. Exhale, round it back. So it feels a little bit more like you're drawing an oval shape with the body. And you can feel that extra gliding, that extra movement that's coming into the shoulders. Again, a different movement, we're having a little bit of fun, we're playing with it. Sometimes requires a little bit more concentration. Okay, coming back to neutral. From here, working into a little bit of a twist. Breathing in, dip the shoulder open. So my left arm might well be your right arm, all the way up as far as is comfortable. Exhale, thread it all the way underneath. Inhale, lift. Sometimes you'll see me make this movement a little bit smaller, but today I want you to try and get as much space and expansion as you can into that shoulder blade. I'm going to move around so you can see what I'm up to. We're going to thread that underneath, either keeping that dynamic movement going, or if it feels okay, you're going to drop the shoulder, drop the side of the head. I turn around this way, you can see a little bit better. And then from here, maybe it feels okay to stretch this back leg out. So you're bringing a little bit more space, maybe even rolling onto the head of that left shoulder some more. Breathing in and out. Slowly lift yourself back up. Keep that leg out behind you, and then I want you to slide it all the way around to the side and lift yourself up. Coming up to this high kneel here. And then from here, again, maybe just taking those little scapular rolls, so those little shoulder rolls. Take the arms out to either side, that little bit of rotation first of all. And then we're going to imagine that we're passing a block. No, we're not actually, because your hands aren't ever going to meet. You're going to bring your hands up on this side, bring this left hand up to meet the right, and then the right hand down to the lower back. Circle the left hand all the way back around. Can you see you're swapping the hands over and over? You're getting that nice rotation through the shoulder, plus a bonus stretch through the inside of the leg. One more. Keeping your brains busy this morning. Gently fold it forward. Add one last quick twist in here. Same arm as leg. And then take it back. Down, coming back to all fours. Take a round of cat-cow, either that elongated version or just neutral here in the middle. And then coming into the opposite arm. So breathing in, open up, exhale, thread it underneath. In and under, and one more, breathing in, stretch it all the way up. Exhale this time again. If it feels good, drop the head of the shoulder, drop the side of the head down. Roll yourself ever so slightly more onto the back of that shoulder. And then if it feels okay, stretching that left leg out behind you, tuck the toes, kick back into the heels. Breathe. And then gently lift yourself back up. So a little bit of effort through the arm, through the shoulder. Left leg slides out to the side, and then you're going to lift yourself all the way up. So come up again into that high kneel. Once we're there, a little bit of a shoulder roll, maybe a little bit of that arm rotation. And then we come back into that swapping the hands. Little bits of rotation, little bits of movement through the shoulder. And again, you don't need to be in this kneeling position. You can do this sitting at your desk. Get everyone involved. This time before we come down, squeeze the hands together, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the chest, and then exhale, take it down. One last twist for good measure, opening up, and then bring it back down. Tuck the toes. Press the heels back. If it feels good, take one little wiggle into downward facing dog. Think about drawing those shoulders down away from the ears. And then come back down. First of all, that wider legged child's pose. So knees wide, toes together. Stretch the arms out in front of you. Elbows are staying on the mat. Back of the hands coming to the back of the head. Breathe. See if those little bits of movement have opened up any extra space here. Then letting the arms come back down. If it feels comfortable, again, bringing the knees in a little bit narrower, sliding the hands down to the sides of your feet, letting your head roll forward, and breathing deep into the back of the body once more. One more breath here. Planting the fingertips on the mat, rolling yourself back up and round. Find a comfortable seat. And we're going to close by taking 3 big deep breaths. If you have more time, then I would urge you to stay for a little bit longer. Place the fingertips down to either side of you like those kind of guy ropes. Let yourself get nice and tall and feel the shoulders effortlessly glide down the back. Close the eyes or soften the focus. Take a deep breath in. Sigh all the way out. Feeling all of that space that you've created in the upper body. 2 more. And on this next round of breath, breathing in, stretch the arms up. Again, maybe a little wiggle into the waist, into the sides of the body. Exhale, bring the hands back down, effortlessly flexing and gliding and rolling those shoulders. And you are all done.